Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here, and you are welcome, my friends. I wasn't planning on doing a podcast this week, but a couple of things kind of happened today that really interested me. It looks like Lord Feig and Marvel Studios and Disney have been shaken by the 100% positive reactions from early screenings of Shazam, and I want to discuss that. And something else has just happened. And this is to do with Doctor Who. This is Jodie Whittaker, and she wants you to have breakfast with her. Take a listen to this.
Hi, my name's Jodie Whittaker. I've got a bit of a problem. So when we're filming Doctor Who, I don't have anyone to have any breakfast with. So we're looking for one person who can bring a friend to come and have a bit of brekkie with me on set one day before we start filming. You know, we can even have a brew. And if you're lucky, I'll show you around. It can potentially cuddle a Dalek. All you have to do is enter here. The money raised goes to all the fantastic projects that Red Nose Day are working on around the world. So please click on it and come and have brekkie with me. Hi.
That's probably the best performance she's delivered since she's been cast as the Doctor. So, one person and a friend can have breakfast with Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, right? So, let's discuss this. I will bet you all the money in my pocket, which is a lot, and I'm not going to tell you how much. I will bet all the money in my pocket that a male doesn't win that prize. It will be a female with her female friend. Look, we know what these people are trying to do. And of course, it's all to do with comic relief Red Nose Day. It's for charity. It's a nice thing. No. Every male application will be ripped up and ignored. And I promise you, a female will win this competition. It's as simple as that. More desperate PR. And it'd be actually interesting how many people apply for this. How many people are interested in having breakfast with her? Look, even if not many people enter, they'll find someone. It will be a female winner. If I apply, I have no chance of winning. Not that I had a chance of winning anyway. But come on, boys. Let's do the test. All you male Doctor Who fans, all you boys, young boys, old men, whatever, I want loads of you, every one of you who watches this video, to apply for this, right? What's it on? Let's see. Let's see where you can find this. Emma Freud, right? You know who Emma Freud is? E-M-M-A. Her surname is F-R-E-U-D. She's got it on. She's posted this video. I want you to find her Twitter. I want you to look at the details. And I want every single boy, man, right, everyone, right, to apply for this, right? And I promise you, not one of you will have the opportunity, not that you want it, to have breakfast with the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. So very, very interesting stuff. Now, I said at the beginning of this year, this was going to be a really troublesome year for the MCU, because ever since Avengers Ensemble, the first Avengers movie, basically Kevin Feige, or his nickname that his detractors call him, Lord Feige, right? The MCU and Disney have been walking on water. They can do no wrong. I mean, for Christ's sake, they gave us 4-2 The Dark World, Iron Man 3, and still nobody criticised them. I mean, it's amazing. But what happens is they cast an actor to play Captain Marvel. She stands there, bold as brass, attacking white males, right? And it all hits the fans. So this morning, right, and I read you the reactions, very positive reactions for Shazam from the early screenings. They've been so positive, and I didn't sniff any chance of a release of an Avengers Endgame trailer, but all of a sudden we had one. What's in this trailer? Well, I did a reaction. You can go and check it out. I thought it was okay. Well, about nearly a minute's worth of old footage, right? And then a little bit of newer footage, but it's mostly what we've seen already. Now, some people said, isn't this good? They're not really giving anything away. Of course, we don't want them to give anything away. That's not the point. This looks like a hastily put together trailer to distract people's attention that Shazam is doing really well. Because don't forget, everyone, they've all told us, Warner Brothers, Marvel Studios and Disney are good friends. Shazam and Captain Marvel are good friends. Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel are good friends. Everyone's friends. Nobody's in competition. Apart from the fact that staring us all in the face that they are separate studios and they are competing. That basically you've got Captain Marvel released, and then within 3 or 4 weeks you've got Shazam released, right? If that's not people competing passive-aggressively, I don't know what is. And then, about a month after the release of Shazam, you've got Avengers Endgame. It is the gift that keeps on giving. These people will say one thing and do another. They're not friends. They are in competition, and it's aggressive competition between Marvel Studios, Disney, and Warner Brothers, right? It's hilarious. It really is. But nobody expected, well, Warner Brothers did, because otherwise they wouldn't have allowed critics to react to Shazam a month before its release, do these early screenings. And they're being consistent now because they did early screenings for Aquaman as well. So it's really, 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 really funny. It's hilarious. It really, really is. But the things people are saying about Shazam, I've never enjoyed a superhero movie since The Dark Knight. This is what people are saying. People are saying there's more to it than what you're seeing in the trailers. There's some darkness in it. There's some scare in it. There's a lot of tears in it, but there's a lot of laughs in it, which has already been proved true in the trailers. And this is something I think Feige and Marvel Studios just wasn't expecting, this kind of a reaction, because they underestimated one entity, Walter Hamada and New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema and Walter Hamada are now running DC films, right? Whether it's the Joker movie, Shazam, Aquaman, Birds of Prey, the Batman, the Superman film, which will be announced shortly. When I say shortly, I was thinking about a month and a half's time. So it's all happening. They're turning this around. There's still people posting videos here on YouTube saying, who killed the DCEU? Well, it's been revived by Dr. Walter Hamada, and it's doing very well. Thank you very much. And it's shaken Lord Feige and the MCU and Disney so much, they hastily got the big guns out and released another trailer for Endgame. They were never planning that, because if they were, I would have known about it, because that's how close I've got my ear to the ground. I know what's going on, right? You know that, and I know that. And the truth of the matter is, they are shaken. Shazam is basically a film made in the MCU mold. But it does one thing that they don't. It's actually managed to put together dark elements, emotional elements, and funny elements, and make a film that people actually will remember for a long time. The difference is between the MCU film, they're very generic, they're very forgettable. You watch them just so you can watch the latest episode of the MCU franchise, then it's done and dusted. Shazam isn't that type of film, and the reaction everyone's giving it, right, is sensational. I didn't expect people to react that way because I'm just so used to, every DC film being shitted on, right? So it's absolutely amazing. And to see them rattled like this, and what a turnaround, past 2 movies, 3 movies if you include Wonder Woman, right? Past 3 movies, right? Obviously, Justice League's in the middle there. But basically, past 3 movies have been positive. But forget about Wonder Woman. Back to back, it's looking like Aquaman and Shazam are big wins. But there's been a kind of prediction about what kind of opening box office in the States Shazam will have. And they're talking about 40 million plus opening weekend. I predict it's more. Why? Because the people who are all over YouTube and the people who have wanted Captain Marvel to fail are going to purposely go to watch Shazam to boost its numbers. So this film is going to do really, really well. I've told you this a billion times before. Empires destroy themselves within. The MCU was the darling of the mainstream movie media, access media, the mainstream audience. But then this Captain Marvel thing hit the fan, and it's changed. You've got so much negativity, surrounding the MCU, and all of a sudden, thanks to Mr. Walter Hamada, Aquaman and Shazam, right, all of a sudden it's turned around. It's the DCEU that has the positivity with the mainstream audience, and it's the MCU that has the poisonous bile surrounding it. Do you remember Batman v Superman, a film I love? How much crap and nonsense was spoken about it? Well, there you have it now. I tell you what, this is a phenomenal situation. It's a massive turnaround, and as I keep on saying, empires are destroyed from within, because what they actually thought was that they could do anything they wanted, and the silly little fans, the silly little members of public, would just go, yes, Lord Feige, you can do whatever you want. And that's not how it works. But this goes beyond Kevin Feige. These decisions are not from him. Brie Larson's casting wasn't from him. The allowance to allow her to speak such vile publicly wasn't down to him, because he's got he's working for a higher power, and he's called Mickey Mouse. It's called Disney. And it wouldn't surprise me by the end of the year if Feige quits. Yeah, that's what I believe. There's too many things that have happened that he's not been happy about. The firing of James Gunn, he wouldn't have been happy about it privately. The situation with Brie Larson, a situation that had nothing to do with him, but he's had to be there. And it's such a big mess as well when you look at who's actually backed Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins, Zachary Levi, people who are working for the DCEU. Meanwhile, where's the support from Scarlett Johansson? Where's the support from Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo? I can go on. The only one who's shown a modicum of support has been Chris Evans, right? I don't know anyone within this universe who works, the actors who work, backing this woman, backing this film. No one seems to want to come out from the MCU franchise and back this film publicly on their Twitter. Robert Downey Jr. has his Twitter. I haven't seen one thing backing this film from his account. That's very, very, very interesting. And let's go back to the Endgame second trailer, where they leave her to the very last scene. She doesn't speak. Interesting. If they actually stopped her from talking months ago, they wouldn't be in this trouble right now. And it's literally Thor grabbing his hammer and going, I like her. Why would they do that? Because they're showing that, and who knows? That could be a newly created scene just to kind of convince the fans that, she's all right, Thor likes her. Who knows? But it's, look, Avengers Endgame is saying I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to make 2 or 3 million. 2 or 3 billion. 2 or 3 million would be disappointing, wouldn't it? It's going to make a lot of money. Everyone's excited to see this movie. It's not about that. They have got themselves in a bit of trouble. And for them to see, look, for little old Shazam, a little old movie that's only cost 90 million to produce and to make, right? 90 million to shake these people up. Walter Hamada is scaring a lot of people over at Disney. And this, my friends, is only the beginning. I hope you enjoyed the Mick Minas podcast. Sorry it couldn't be longer. Let me know what you want me to talk about on my podcast weekly. I look at the comments. I love them. I'll respond to them. Let's try and keep it positive. But if you disagree with me, that's cool. You see, I'm not like Marvel Studios. I'm not like Rotten Tomatoes. Just because you disagree with me, I won't accuse you of being a troll. Have a great evening. Have a great day, wherever you are.